Welcome back to another episode of The Authentic Me. At the time of recording this, it is currently November, and MCO Events, my business and my company, has officially ticked over $1 million in revenue this calendar year. Yay, air claps to me. And so I'm saying calendar year and I'm saying revenue, but I think either or, hitting that $1 million in revenue is something that a lot of people aspire to do, and a lot of people hit as a goal or want to set as a goal, that 7-figure entrepreneur. And so as I've hit this goal, I wanted to share some of the things that I've done to be able to achieve that revenue target, but also be really real with you and let you know that nothing in my life has actually really changed. And I think that's a really important thing to distinct, that these days, $1 million revenue business isn't actually all that great and all that big. Now, I'm not saying that to poo-poo people that aren't doing that, but I think for me, in terms of wanting to build a company with a lot of staff, with global impact, I'm hanging around business owners and entrepreneurs that are hitting 100 million, 200 million, shooting for the $1 billion in revenue. But that being said, I wanted to also take a moment and have a moment of gratitude to say there are certain things that took me from a 6-figure business through to a 7-figure business. So in this episode, I wanted to share with you the 5 big takeaways of the things that I've done in 2025 that has allowed me to hit that revenue target a lot earlier than I had thought. So then in this financial year, we will be shooting for $2 to $3 million with 6 months play to go. So the first lesson and the first thing that I did was, one, is invest in yourself. You have got to be able to put yourself as the number one asset in your business. Your business can only grow to the extent that you are willing to grow. So for me this year, I invested in high ticket, long-term mentorship and coaching. I've never done this before. I've been a serial coach, business development hopper. And what I mean by that is I would go to seminars and I would go to different events, and then I would work with coaches for a short container or a short block of time, but nothing that was a years-long investment. This year, as a lot of you guys saw, my long-term mentor, Shent Thambaya, who was also featured on this podcast, I've worked with him intensely and deeply for the past year. And so what that has meant for me was to have full accountability for someone that really starts getting to know me, understands my personality traits, understands the way that I move, understands the way that I react, understands my business in a very, very deep way. And so working with Shent and investing in myself high ticket and having that accountability partner week on week on week has naturally propelled my business forward. Because of that close proximity with that coach, he knows every single move that I'm playing, and every single week we're able to optimize and re-strategize the process to get me to that high revenue year. And so the number one thing is, if you're not doing it already and you've got just a small amount of cash, the best thing you can do is invest in yourself and grow and develop the skills and resources so that you can hit your next revenue goal, whatever that may be, or even just getting you closer to your goal. Who in your life is holding you accountable? The second lesson that I did and the second action that I took was that I began to charge my true worth. Being able to charge my actual value and start selling a high ticket item is something that's been able to propel my business forward in cash flow. And so what I mean by that is, if you are fully booked out and you have no time, and you're also feeling like you're burnt out, but you're also not getting the revenue that you want, it's likely because you're pricing yourself too cheap. If you're booked and busy, but you're not living your wealth freedom lifestyle, then your pricing is an issue. You might have a money model problem because you're pricing yourself as a commodity. That's what happens when we beat and challenge ourselves on price against other people's businesses, is we feel like we're working so hard, but we don't actually have the cash flow to support it or to hire a staff member or a team or to scale. So that second thing is, I started embodying high ticket pricing offers and high ticket services. That means being quite uncomfortable to start with. Like, oh my gosh, can I charge 10K, 15K for my one-on-one coaching? But what I realized was if I don't charge that price, I'm not actually activating my clients to their highest standard. And so when you charge, you're not actually charging from your pocket, you're charging of the cost of the tuition fee to activate that client and provide a premium quality service. And so a lot of us, we get self-conscious around raising our prices. But when we actually remove the personal side of the pricing structure and actually sell them on the transformation, the activation, this is the price it's going to cost to play so that I can get you to that bigger revenue goal. I've done that for myself, which has then propelled and just elevated everything in the business model, because now there's enough resources there for me to actually hire another staff member to then be able to grow and look after our clients. So really focusing in on, are you charging your true value and your true worth? And at the end of the day, when you raise your prices by 10%, 15%, 20%, most of the time your clients won't bat an eyelid and they'll just accept it because of inflation, the new financial year. People don't actually mind. And the market will also price you out if you start spending and charging just way above what everyone else is doing, but you're getting a lot of rejection. It might not even be a money model. I just want to float that. It might actually be your sales strategy. Maybe you don't know how to sell the high ticket. So then it goes back to step number one, which is investing in yourself and building the tools so that you can charge your true worth. So hopefully that helps. Number 3 is investing in your network. Your network is your net worth. We've flown that around so many times, but also you are the energy of the 5 people that you keep around you. All of these things are true. When you are around people that don't have big goals, let's say, everyone in your life has a 9 to 5 and is earning bare minimum wage, and you come out and you want to be entrepreneurial. How do you expect to succeed if no one else around you has the goals and desires that you want? You'd be sticking out like a sore thumb and feeling like every single conversation is banging your head against the wall because you guys have different values or different frequency alignment. And now this isn't to say that you have to let them all go. It's about investing in your network and investing in people that have the same common goal as you so that you can then move forward and achieve the things that you want to do. Being an entrepreneur is hard at the best of times. It feels lonely when you're working in the middle of the night and no one is giving you your kudos or claps. But when you find the right network and you invest in the right network, you actually start sharing some of those struggles, pains, challenges, and you actually start feeling not so alone in the journey. And so another example here is if you are around people that love to party, I was also used to be ex-party girl, but if you are one of those people that love to party, go out drinking, smashing it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then waking up and feeling drained and tired by Monday, how do you expect to succeed when that is the status quo and that is the norm? By proxy, people are going to start thinking that you're also just that. And now it's fine. It's fine to let your hair down every now and again and do that. But what are you doing consistently? And who is around your network consistently? Because you need people that are going to challenge you. You need people that are going to go, hey, hold you accountable. Are you actually doing this? And if you're going to be obnoxious enough and out there enough to put out these big goals, we're watching you. We're making sure that you've got integrity. We're making sure that you're actually doing the things that you say you're going to do. Because every single time that you don't, it gives us a signal that you're not a man or a woman of your words. So finding that network of people that are going to hold you accountable is critically important. And you can do this through social media. You can do this through podcast platforms. You can do this through live events. You can do this through networking events. There's so many ways that you can improve your network now, so that is no excuse. And for me, finding those 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, those companies, those business owners, those founders. That's why I've ended up being able to make a meal earlier than I thought, because I was around the right network. Number 4 is that I started creating my own community through building live events. This is something that I encourage everyone to do if you've got a business, if you're looking to scale, is creating your own events. Now, why am I saying building your own events? Is because you actually start creating your own ecosystem, your own community. And I'm starting to be seen as a thought leader in my space because I'm hosting the event. I'm curating the networking guest list. I'm being the key speaker at my own events. So there's something really beautiful around you creating your own events and then positioning yourself as the thought leader in your space. And when you have your own community as well, us as human beings, we love tapping into other people's communities, as we mentioned, around the networking, investing in yourself. So if you can become an authority in that space, whatever it is, host an event. Set yourself a goal for 2025 or 2026 to run your own event and build your own community, because that level of asset and conviction in your own brand is going to propel you forward to that next revenue target. The 5th thing that I did this year that just paid off dividends is I stopped thinking locally and I started thinking globally. Not just looking at Melbourne, which is where I'm from, but started expanding into Sydney, into Brisbane, into offshore businesses. And we ran our very first event out in Singapore. You could arguably say I had no business doing business in Singapore. Like, why Singapore? But for me, getting seen and exposed to other countries, other cultures, and doing business with other influential people really puts perspective on how much opportunity there is. With the internet, with social media, with AI, we don't need to be a local company anymore. So really start thinking about how you can expand, even if it's just your online presence, to a global audience. If we market ourselves to a global audience, we're going to attract more people in that top of funnel, and more people are going to get to know you, more people are going to be able to buy from you, and more people you get to change their lives and impact them in such a positive way. So stop thinking locally and really start thinking globally. The last one that I wanted to add as a bonus, I know I said I'd give you 5, but I have to be able to add number 6, which is the bonus one, which is finding the right partner. I can't stress enough how much 2025 for me has seen the glow up of Mel Yu. I was a shell of a person at the start of this year. And since meeting Corey and since meeting my partner, everything else has just dropped in and really fallen into place. And so finding that right person that's got your back, that sees you working, that sees the real you behind all of the makeup, the personal brand, the clothing, behind all of that, that person that really sees the essence of you will change everything. Because when your home life is good, when your relationships are safe, when the foundation of your home is truly built on trust and authenticity and structure, your business can only grow from there. It can only expand from there because your home life is safe. And so if you haven't found that partner yet, not saying to run along and find them, but also find that person potentially in your best friend, in a mentor, in a business bestie, in someone that's going to really, truly be able to see you and give you the honest, hard truths about yourself. So they're the 5 plus 1. They're the 6 things that really helped me grow this year in 2025. For those that have been following on social media or have been following the personal brand alongside it, I know that you can see that transformation and that real distinct uplift in who I've become. There's a level of certainty and conviction that I'm so excited about that I brought into 2025, and I'm excited to grow and expand that in 2026. So whatever revenue target you're looking at, whatever measurement of success that you're shooting for and aiming for, I'm sure that these 5 pillars plus the bonus will help you if you just apply yourself listen to this podcast again if that's what it takes to really drill in some of these key takeaways. And if you found this podcast helpful and you've got a fellow friend, colleague, or business owner that is also looking for some inspiration to hit, whether that's their first 7-figure year or 7-figure month, whatever that may be, shoot your shot, get disciplined, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey along the way. My name is Mel Yu, and this is the Authentic Me podcast. Thanks for listening. I love you guys so much. I'll see you for the next one.